So let me start. This is my second project. It's concerning about how the sun produces energy. Okay, so let me define by what is meant by energy. Energy is literally can be defined as the ability to do work. Heat and work are mechanisms by which systems exchange energy with one another. So energy exists in different forms in the universe, and heat and light are forms of energy. So according to the law of conservation of energy, energy neither created and nor destroyed, but it can be transferred from one object to another object. So there are different mechanisms by which heat energy is transferred. So some of the mechanisms are conduction, convection, and radiation. These are some of the mechanisms by which heat energy is transferred between objects. So in conduction, there is a direct contact between objects, and as a result, heat is transferred from the one which is hot to the colder one. In convection, the warm air or liquid will expand and transform its energy to the cooler area or region. In radiation, there is no direct contact between objects, but there is transfer of energy through thermal radiation. Okay, what is the sun? The sun is a star. It is a star in our solar system. So being a star, the sun has its own energy. Like all the stars, it provides energy. So this energy is provided to all the planets in our solar system. So the sun provides energy to all organisms on Earth and make life possible by providing vitamins and energy to the organisms living on Earth, especially like green plants get energy from the sun in order to prepare their own food in the process called photosynthesis. So life is impossible without the sun. So it's very important for our survival. So how does the sun produce this energy? So there is a process called fusion in the fusion of atoms. And the hydrogen atom, which is found in abundance on sun, go on a fusion reaction and produces a helium atom, which in turn produces energy. And there is a continuous fusion of hydrogen atoms, which consequently produce helium atom, and as a result produces energy in the form of heat and light. So how can the sun produces energy in the form of heat? So when objects is heated, atoms and molecules get excited and collide with adjacent molecules and transfer energy. So there is a theory called nebula theory, which states that they believe that there was a huge cloud of gas and particles called nebula, and this collapsed under the force of its own gravity, and which is known as this nebula theory. And that is how they theorize how this energy was produced by the sun. So all of the energy is produced at the center of the sun, called the core. And at the core, this energy is all of the energy is produced at the central part called the core. And the sun has got different layers, and the energy which is produced at the center, at the core, is transferred to the consecutive layers, and eventually reach the outer surface of the sun and transform to the all planets in the solar system. So after the core, the next zone is called radiative zone. And after radiative zone, we have the convective zone. And after the convective zone, we have the photosphere zone. So all these energies, after being produced at the core, through the mechanism called convection, pass to the radiative zone, and from the radiative zone, it will, by the convection mechanism, will transfer to radiative zone, and from the radiative zone will continue to the photosphere zone, which is the visible outer surface of the sun, and eventually move to the transformer to all the planets in the solar system, and also including to our planet Earth. And this energy will arrive at the Earth's atmosphere and being filtered and pass to all the matters living on Earth. Okay, the layers of the sun. The core is covered about 20 to 25% of the sun's radius, and the radiative zone covers from 25% to 70% of the sun's radius, and the convective zone is beyond 70% of the radius of the sun, and the photosphere is the visible surface of the sun, where the energy is transformed to all the planets in the solar system. So energy in the form of light. So far we have seen how the sun produces energy in the form of heat, and how the heat is produced in the core and being passed through the different layers, eventually reach at the outer surface and being transferred to our solar system. And now let's see how this energy is transformed in the form of light. So sunlight contains all the colors of the rainbow, like the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. All these colors are included in the sun's light, which appears like white, but these colors are already inside the visible light. And also the light is transformed in the form of electromagnetic radiation, which are the spectrum. So this light is in the form of electromagnetic radiation. So the electromagnetic radiation has different properties, and some of the properties of the electromagnetic radiations are: it has got wavelengths, it has got amplitude, and it has got polarization. So these are the three properties of the electromagnetic radiation. So the electromagnetic spectrum is divided into 7 regions according to decreasing wavelengths and increasing energy. As the wavelengths decreases, the energy increases. They are inversely proportional to each other. So as the energy decreases, the wavelength increases, and as the wavelength increases, the energy decreases. They are inversely proportional. And some of the regions of the electromagnetic spectrum are the radio wave, microwaves, infrared waves, visible light, the ultraviolet, the X-ray, and gamma ray. So this ultraviolet, gamma, and X-ray, these are the high energy, and they're powerful. And sometimes the ultraviolet light is dangerous for the organisms living on Earth. And most of the ultraviolet radiation is absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere, the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere, called the ozone layer. This ozone layer plays an important role in filtering the sun's energy or light, especially the ultraviolet, which is dangerous to the organisms living on Earth. So to summarize my presentation today here, the sun as a huge nuclear power produces energy in the form of heat and light, and this energy is produced in a process called fusion, and there are huge amount of hydrogen atom in the sun, and this hydrogen atom goes on this fusion reaction and continuously produce helium atom, and in turn produces this energy, and this energy is produced at the center of the sun called the core, at the core, and this energy which is produced at the core is transferred to the consecutive layers and eventually reach the Earth and the other planets in the solar system. And our Earth has got her atmosphere, and this atmosphere plays an important role in filtering the energy which is produced as the sun and transformed to the Earth's atmosphere. So this energy is transferred in the form of heat and light, and it is being filtered by the Earth's atmosphere before it reaches the Earth. So the organisms are safe because of the Earth's atmosphere, which filtered some dangerous some dangerous electromagnetic waves like the ultraviolet waves, and other dangerous waves are being filtered. And the atmosphere plays an important role in bringing those good energy to the Earth. So the sun is the most important star in our solar system because all of the organisms on Earth get their energy from the sun. So had there been no sun, there will be no life on Earth. So that is the most important star in our solar system for the survival of all living organisms on Earth. So thanks to the sun, and we all survive and present our discussion, we will be able to present our presentation due to the existence of the sun. So thanks to the sun, it's important, and as a result we are alive, and I'm able to present. I'm really happy to present about this wonderful star, sun. Thank you very much.